right, let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams, obviously heading into a massive matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend. And this is a Rams football team. A lot of folks, a lot of so-called experts left for dead coming into the season because they said they just didn't have the talent. But the Rams, led by Les Snead, have made a lot of really smart moves and frankly outsmarted those so-called experts. And we've got a report highlighting probably the best move maybe any team has made in terms of getting value this entire season. We've got a report from Steelers Wire. That's how you know it's a good move, because it comes from the opposition. But if you throw up the report, I will read from it. This week, when the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Los Angeles Rams, they will face two former Steelers starters. One is cornerback Ahkello Witherspoon, and the other is guard Kevin Dotson. Dotson flashed greatness as a rookie, but was never able to recapture that magic after that until now. Dotson is currently the starting right guard for the Rams, having started the past 3 games in place of Joe Notaboom. According to the folks over at Pro Football Focus, Dotson is the highest rated guard in the NFL, entire NFL this season, with an 85.3 grade. Now let's backtrack a little bit to August, when the Rams originally required Dotson. If you're looking, this is again according to Rams.com to get the details of the trade right. So the Rams traded their 2024 fourth, their 2025 pick to the Steelers to get Dotson, and they also got the Steelers 2024 fifth-round pick and the Steelers 2025 sixth-round pick. So basically, they lost the fourth, got a sixth, and got Kevin Dotson. What an incredible move, because Dotson is playing at incredibly high level for this Los Angeles Rams offense. You talk about getting a lot of value. You gave up essentially, again, swapped a 4th, 4, 6, and picked up right now per PFF, and he's playing great, so I agree with PFF, the best guard in football. Again, small sample size. I don't know if it'll last him being the best guard, but you gotta love the smart moves behind Les Snead in this Rams front office. And Mice, I'm curious what your thoughts are on what this move could potentially mean for the long term. But Rams fans, like I alluded to, big game this weekend against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers offense not looking that great. Rams defense looking very good. Looks like it could be a low-scoring affair. Give us your prediction, final score, Rams Steelers, in the comment section below. But Miles, what do you think of everything the Rams are doing, especially with Les Snead, surprising a lot of people with how good they've been this season?
Yeah, first of all, Nick, coming home party for Kevin Dotson. Got to be, a chip on his shoulder type of game. But this guy, like you said, he's played phenomenal in the 3 games he's played. He came in against an Indianapolis team who has 2 great defensive linemen in Buckner and Kwity Paye. He comes in, puts up an 89.3 run blocking grade in that game. Off the bench, first game he's played for the Rams, absolutely crushes. Comes in against a absolutely dominating Philadelphia Eagles defensive line, 80.0 pass block grade. Then does what we always say. What happens when a good team, or a good guard in this case, goes up against a bad team or a bad defense in the Arizona Cardinals? You have to dominate, putting up a 73.8 pass blocking grade, 83.7 run blocking grade, his best score of the season, total 86.1. This guy has been absolutely phenomenal for the Rams. So I think the thing that you were talking about is, not only would this just have been a great acquisition pretty much for almost anything they gave up for him, it's all about the value they got him at. They got a top tier player at this point in the season. And I bring up all the teams they've played, the defenses they've played, to say, I don't think his play is going to dip that much. He's gone up against a lot of really good opponents. Now, he may not be the best guard in the NFL when all is said and done, but he will be very, very good, I believe, at the end of the season still. So at that price point, this was absolute steal. This is like going to a Ford dealership and finding a Ferrari in there, and they say, well, not our thing. We'll give it to you at a discount. Take it off the used lot, kick the tires, see what's going on. I think this was a great move by the Rams, Nick, and it's just showing this front office has really been able to do a lot with a little as of late.
Well, I think it's a credit to Snead, and let's be honest, credit to McVay and his coaching staff, because it's all about finding these players is half the battle, but you also got to get them in the positions to be successful. We've done film breakdowns on some rookies like Avila, like Young on the edge player for the defense. These are guys that were not first or second round picks that are playing at a very high level for the Rams. And a lot of that, I think, is due to the Rams coaching staff, but also the front office. They have this innate ability to find incredible value, whether it's in the second half of the draft or guys that teams are looking to get rid of. The Steelers literally have had so many offensive line issues and so much offensive issues this season. They literally gave away a guy who right now is the best guard in football. You talk about the ability to just parse through all the noise from the Rams perspective and look at Dotson and evaluate him. And look, do I think Snead looked at him and said, oh, we're getting the best guard in football right now for a steal? I think he looked at him and said, we're getting a really good football player at a bargain price. And that is why the Rams, I think, will continue to be successful, not just this season, but in the future. Because everyone talked about the Rams strategy. Oh, they were all in on 1 year. They went super team for 1 year, gave up all their draft picks. But the reality is, I think it's clear we can look at it and say, okay, Snead and McVay recognized their strengths. Their strengths weren't drafting in the first round, or frankly, in the second round either. Their strengths were identifying later gems, both in the draft and in the free agency availability pool, getting them into the team for a good discount, and then using that as savings to go out and get the superstars and lock them up, whether it's Cooper Kupp, whether it's Matthew Stafford, whether it's Aaron Donald. We're starting to see the strategy for the Rams really come into focus here. And all these people and all these talking heads in the media that said, oh, it was an all-in strategy. Hey, it worked. They got their one title. They're going to tank now. They're going to stink for the next 2 or 3 years. They've been proven wrong because we're seeing the strategy. We're seeing the plan. And I think it's a great one. And the Rams deserve a lot of credit for how they've executed it.